we're here to do your December, January, and February overview. And we have been on hiatus. It is our busy season, and now we are back, ready to rock and roll. So I'm going to turn it over to Maddie. She's going to start us out.
All right. So looking at the astrology of this winter, and for Libra, I'm really paying attention to the Venus transits. So December 4th, Venus is moving out of Libra, which Venus in Libra is so lovely, which is where we're at the time of recording, and it's moving into Scorpio. So Venus in Scorpio is all about that depth and that darkness and really getting to the root of things and being really attracted to things that can be really intense and a little scary at times. Also, December 12th, we're going to have a Mercury retrograde in Capricorn. Remember to stay flexible. Things are going to start breaking down right in time for holiday season. So just look out for some delays with that. On the 29th, Venus is going to be moving into Sagittarius, which is a little sunnier. So having a little bit more of an enthusiastic outlook about things, and especially as on the 22nd, the week before, Mercury is going to retrograde all the way back into Sagittarius. So some inward exploration, but feeling kind of, energized by it. We're starting the year with a little clarity. Mercury is going to station direct on the 1st. So all that kind of soul searching that went on is going to be able to be communicated a little bit more clearly. And then we're looking at Venus is moving into Capricorn at the end of January and the 23rd. So putting things to work is again going to be very attractive to you. Things really slow down towards the end of February with the Sun and Mercury moving into Pisces. And so I think all like the exploration that's kind of going involved with like Aquarius season, where we get really experimental, is gonna get a little non-linear, a little fluid, and the impulse is gonna be to just kind of rest. Some dates to keep in mind: January 9th, the 13th, 24th, and the 26th, as well as February 1st, 9th, 22nd, 23rd, 27th, and 28th. The moon is going to be void of course, which means it's not making any aspects to anything, and all that astrological energy just takes a little more effort to get to us. Things can feel very still and stagnant. So those are days to kind of just not force the situation and kind of rest. With that, there might be some tension on the 13th of January because Mercury is going to be moving into Capricorn, where we're thinking about how we can put things into a physical form, gather resources, gather our assets. But those plans it's gonna take a while, so you can maybe expect some delays with that. But so what do you got?
Okay, Libra, you're not happy in December. There's a little bit of conflict going on, chaos, and I think it's mainly the chaos going on. You just feel like you're battling it through. So be gentle with yourself in December. It's a busy, busy month. January, I think you gain your footing back a little bit. I don't know if there's a new job coming open, but I'm kind of leaning that way. There's a new start or a new start to business at the end of January, beginning of February. So it just kind of lets you take a big, deep breath, drop that heavy load, and things start rolling in and you start getting back in balance, both mentally and with your pocketbook, because it looks really good. Whatever this opportunity is, looks really good. Maddie?
I'm seeing this winter for Libra being really about growth. But personal growth, and the theme for me, especially in December, it's taking accountability for things. Taking accountability for past mistakes. I see a lot of like soul searching happening in December, connecting with childhood and connecting with the past in general, and then having to really lean into and take stock of places where you were wrong,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and maybe some conflicts that came up that maybe didn't have to come up. And again, there's maybe a tendency to fall into a little bit of a, I want to say like a tantrum with that, because that voice is really still strong. There's a lot of pride happening, but look for some humbling happening in December, and roll with it. That's going to really unlock this chapter of growth.
Not everything has to be a war.
Yeah,
you can skin this a whole different way, and you can sneak in and steal all the swords and win the war. So there's an alternative.
Yeah, I'm getting like a need for submission almost, of just like, yeah, that wasn't right.
Yeah.
And maybe some apologies coming out. January, your voice gets stronger, definitely. Be careful of steamrolling, maybe accumulating some debts. Julie talked about, new opportunities coming that will pay off. Don't count those chickens before they hatch.
Yes.
Because I can see you kind of getting excited, skipping to the end and being like, oh, I'll pay you back later. You gotta be very practical about things. Taking a very measured leadership role. Like, you're gonna have to be, leaning into this emperor kind of space, really planning for the future. But there's an overarching kind of joy that comes into it, kind of like almost like a little, like a magic sense to it. I see you being very optimistic, but don't let that optimism run away from you. February, things seem to slow down a lot, which makes sense with the astrology that I was talking about. But it's definitely putting things into work, being creative, creating something, but it takes time. You don't have all the skills that you think that you do. Settling into this new role and this new phase of growth is going to take time to really get comfortable with. I think you're going to get to a place where you want to just break out. It'll feel very restrictive, but it's about problem solving. You're going to have to really talk things out, but remember to come at it from a neutral place. No one's out to get you. It's about, be prepared to, again, take those humbling lessons from December and learn that it's okay to ask questions. That's part of growing.
Look at the bigger picture.
Yes, very much so.